So, I'm the host, Hank Graham, joined by
Bowler Bunch,
and
the co-host.
This week we're going to talk about two movies because we missed last week, so we got some catching up to do. And the first, well, I guess we should say it's the basketball week.
I know it happened on accident.
Yeah, we accidentally picked two basketball movies in a row, and not. Well, one is for sure basketball. One just stars a basketball player slash rapper, hip hop artist, R&B legend,
Dr. Shaquille O'Neal.
Dr. Shaquille O'Neal, the icon, the one and only. So I guess we could start off. We watched Kazaam and Space Jam.
Very controversial, the second one.
Yeah.
Our most controversial since Bird Box.
Yeah. Let's start with Kazaam. So Kazaam is a movie that probably most people don't remember, especially probably people our age, which is it's a genie movie.
It's
where Shaquille O'Neal plays
Kazaam.
Plays
the title role
of a genie
who instead of he's in a lamp.
He's in a boombox.
He's in a boombox.
And he rips and he rhymes and he.
Which happened very randomly in the movie.
Yeah,
I think I looked away from the screen for like 1 minute.
1 second, and then
all of a sudden he's a huge rap star in New York City.
And he weirdly becomes like a huge rap star like in the span of like
everyone
5 minutes.
Everyone knows.
Yeah,
his songs
he's like selling out like a venue. People were like, "Oh my god,
it's Kazaam!
It's Kazaam!" The what do we say? The villain is like a.
It's like Mario or something.
It looks like Mario. It's like a Persian Mario.
Yeah.
He runs like a dirty club.
Yeah, and he's randomly racketeering.
Yeah, he's racketeering. His thing is his crime is that he makes like
pirated CDs,
and it's just like he hires like armed thugs to guard pirated CDs. And we also mentioned there's Shaquille O'Neal's the main. Actually, he's not the main. The main is this weird little kid who is a horrible actor.
Francis Capra, no relation to It's a Wonderful Life director. Frank.
But
yeah, like the kid. Then
the kid is weird.
There's like moments of the movie too where it's like. Because it's supposed to be, going into it, you think it's just going to be, oh, this kid and this genie, who happens to be Shaquille O'Neal, are having a great time.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out, granting wishes or whatever. And then it becomes like a family drama.
Yeah.
Where, like, the kid, like is in fights with his mom
dad,
and stuff.
He misses his dad. And his dad is, like, part of this, like, CD, whatever, crime syndicate of CD dealers.
Like, he manages a nightclub that, like, is a ring for pirated CDs.
Yeah.
Which is very strange.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
So weird.
Pedro's in it from Napoleon Dynamite. He plays a bully, if you could believe that.
Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, there's not much to say about
it was
movie.
very boring. We're gonna stop doing like a lot of like comedy movies because they're hard to talk about.
But this one in particular, where it was just like you can't make fun of it because it's so bad, it's basically making fun of itself.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a point where Shaquille O'Neal and this like 8-year-old child are rapping a song together.
Yes, out of nowhere.
It literally comes out of nowhere.
They were just fighting,
and there's no explanation for why the kid can rap. It's just like I guess Shaquille O'Neal's magic. He can rap, but like the kid's just like
he's just been writing rhymes in his bedroom.
Yes,
he's been practicing.
Yeah, it's so weird.
But yeah, this movie was clearly a commercial for Shaquille O'Neal's rap career.
Yeah,
which he's gold. Like he's gone gold, which is great. He's worked with Michael Jackson.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's on History, that album.
It's so weird.
It's him and Biggie are on the same album.
Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal is charismatic. He's not a great actor, but he is like fun to watch on screen. Yeah. Not so much in this movie, but like in certain movies. Like we watched Grown Ups 2 in the club a while back, and that's that movie is bad, but I like Shaquille O'Neal every scene he's in because he's funny.
Grown-ups too. And then I remember seeing Blended in theaters. It was the third Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore. You're not missing much, but it's Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, and Shaquille O'Neal's scenes in the movie. He plays like a Dick's Sporting Goods employee with Adam Sandler. Yeah, and he was funny in that. But those are like the only three that I could think of.
I saw Uncle Drew.
Oh yeah, he is in that.
He's in that. He's one of the basketball players. It was okay.
I feel like it'd be like somewhat entertaining.
It was it was nice to see the all the old basketball players, but the he plays like a retired he's like a karate instructor for like kids, so it's Shaq going like and stuff like that.
Shaq Fu.
It's Shaq Fu. He embodies Shaq Fu. It's okay. He's Shaq. I mean, he's fun. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about him.
He's a fun guy, and he's the only person in the movie Kazaam that's like recognizable. He's like the only famous person besides Pedro, of course.
Yes,
it's Shaquille O'Neal and Pedro.
Yeah, because nobody else went on to do anything else with their life.
Not at all.
I mean, any final thoughts on Kazaam?
What's your favorite part of the movie?
Probably when the kid gets thrown down the elevator and everybody thinks he's dead.
And then he just comes back to life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was very weird.
It's just like they just throw this small child down an elevator. The crime boss, Persian Mario, throws this small child down an elevator, and the child dies.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he's out for a little bit.
Yeah, he's just gone for like...
Second time in the movie it happens to him. Like, falls multiple floors.
Yeah, but no. So it was just... I just laughed really hard at, like... They just murdered this child on screen, and Kazaam didn't do much about it.
Not at all. He was too busy rapping.
And that's the final arc of, like, them, where it's like...
Kazaam's like, you don't need my help.
He's like, you don't need my help. I'm going to go rap.
But I love how, like, there's this very beautiful scene at the end of the movie where Shaquille O'Neal's face is just, like, huge. And he's like, I got to go back in the life. And then the next scene, like, and the kid's crying and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then the next scene is Shaquille O'Neal walking away, and he's fine.
Yeah, and the kid's, like, smiling. And
yes, like, Lion King stole from this movie because there's a scene where Shaquille O'Neal becomes, like, a spirit in the sky that looks down at this child to, like, tell him, like, everything will be okay.
He's like, don't worry, you don't need my help anymore.
Yeah.
You got this.
Also, what other Disney movie probably stole from this movie? Aladdin. Aladdin stole from this movie.
Yeah,
just the fact that it's like a
the
genie.
fact that they used a genie.
Will Smith stole from Shaquille O'Neal and looks awful in blue.
Yes, he should have just, like, stayed natural.
I don't know why they had to make him, like, weirdly CGI. Blue. They could have just painted him.
But that's all I got on it. I mean, like, I laughed a couple times, but overall, literally my review for it online was just Shaq plays a genie.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, all I took away from the movie. There's no plot.
There's not much. Really. There's not much to work with it. So, yeah, that was Kazaam. I think it's time to move on to the bigger of the two movies.
The way bigger and easily, probably our most controversial pick. I don't think one person agreed with us.
Yeah, we had... It was similar when we watched Bird Box, where like there were multiple people that came up to us and be like, "Why are you watching this movie in Bad Film Club? This movie is amazing." I'm like, "Have you seen it recently?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "You probably should go watch it because it is god awful." It's very very important movie for our childhood, for our generation.
I love it. Yeah.
I love it, but like rewatching it for the first time in a while, it's just like, oh my god, this is horribly shot, animated, acting is all bad, even from like actual actors, not excluding Michael Jordan, whatever,
or excluding him and like Charles Barkley.
All the non-basketball player actors. There's like, well, there's only about 2 really.
There's like 6
non-basketball actors.
Oh, non-basketball actors. I thought you said.
I was gonna say there's 7 basketball players in this movie.
You got Newman. You got Bill Murray.
And that's it.
That is kind of it.
It's literally Newman and Bill Murray. And Danny DeVito, who voices one of the bad guys.
I don't think that counts, though.
No, not really.
He's not really acting. He's voice acting.
Voice acting is acting.
It is, but it's not like
Don't
I don't get his emotions.
The voice acting community, they will fight you.
I'm just
they
saying.
They hate it when people just refer to them, oh, you're just a voice actor, so you're not a real actor.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I'm just saying.
You just said that.
I'm just saying.
How dare you?
Can I speak my piece?
Tom Kenny is going to come and murder you. That's the voice of SpongeBob.
I'm just saying I'm not getting the proper emotions conveyed to me through Danny DeVito's face in the film.
Well, that's the point of animation.
That's what I was saying.
You can animate a face to do whatever you want.
When I said that doesn't count, that was very harsh. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are.
So anyway, Michael Jordan's terrible.
Yeah. So Michael Jordan is, for people, I don't know who the hell hasn't seen Space Jam.
Yeah.
It's a very
living
pivotal movie of the 90s, early 2000s. Everybody seems to be wearing like Space Jam like clothes again for some reason.
Yeah.
Came back into style.
It's nostalgia,
I guess. But in reality, that movie just sucks.
It's a very bad film, and is the same thing what happened with Pink Panther, whereas like it was on sale on iTunes, and I was like really bored, and I had the money at $5.
Yeah,
and I was like, I wonder if this is still good. Like I hear adults say it's terrible. Let me rewatch it, and then I watched it, and I was like, oh, I completely understand.
That movie is bad. So yeah, let's talk about Michael Jordan off the bat. He is a great basketball player, a horrible actor.
There's some scenes where
really.
they're showing promise, or he's showing promise.
No, it's
and then it just goes downhill.
He just the way he looks at everything like awkwardly. He delivers his lines horribly.
Not shocked at all that
barely shows emotion on his face.
Yeah,
he's not a very like physical actor. He doesn't. It's just not much to talk about. He's just not that great at acting.
The thing about the movie that got me is that like none of the humans are shocked at all.
There's like he just meets the Looney Tunes and is like, Bugs Bunny, what are you doing here? And he's like, you're a cartoon, you're not real. But is not shocked by the fact that he just got dragged into like a Looney Tune world.
And then like when he first meets the Monstars, the antagonists of the film,
he's not scared of them.
Not shocked at all. He's
just like,
they turn him into a ball, and he's like not shocked at all.
Which brings me to a point of this movie that I forgot how much of it there was in this movie of terrible, like late '90s CGI.
Yeah,
I mean, it is horrifying, some of the CGI in this movie.
Yes,
just to look at it. Like, and what sucks is like the Looney Tune world is like all the backgrounds are 3D, bad 3D animation.
When it could just be 2D.
Yeah, they could have just made it 2D and just been fine. But the 3D is awful. The 2D is very subpar. Like they are not. The Looney Tunes are not animated well in this movie, really.
No.
Weirdly, the Monstars I think are like. I think they have better animation. They put more animation into the Monstars than the Looney Tunes themselves.
I feel like the newer cartoons were like somewhat better.
Yeah.
Better.
There's also the final scene of the basketball game is I spent pretty much the whole game looking at all the background characters
and they're
in
all
the stands.
The same.
It's tons of like copy and paste of the same because there's only so many Looney Tunes characters.
Yeah.
And they're just it's weird because most of them are like still images and they would just use CGI. I noticed this. They would use CGI to like bend their characters so it looks like their characters are moving.
Yeah.
And it looks so awkward and weird.
So weird.
And it's like you would look at like one shot and there'd be like 5 of the same like Looney Tune character in the shot. Oh my god, that movie is it's so like it was so poorly like put together. It has some of the ugliest like pans and zooms and like tracking shots I've ever seen. Dutch angles.
Lots
it's
of Dutch
so
angles.
Like the shots are weird and bad. I hope the director never went on to do anything else.
I don't think he did. I didn't recognize his name.
Yeah, because it's clearly a cash grab movie. It was just made for like, hey, what's really popular right now? Michael Jordan. What else is kind of popular? The Looney Tunes.
That's the thing. Was anyone asking for a Michael Jordan Looney Tunes movie?
No, I'm sure it was someone like. I'm sure it was someone
like
saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's like, okay, people really like this concept. Let's do this with the Looney Tunes. And they're like, well, how do we write the Looney Tunes into a movie? It's like, well, what's really popular right now? Michael Jordan. Like, okay. let's make it work.
We got it. Get
we
to
got
work.
it. Figure it out. And
Call Danny.
Danny who?
DeVito.
Oh, Danny. Yeah, Danny DeVito.
He's our guy.
Who plays the bad guy and is in the movie for like 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes.
What was he doing before this? Throw Mama from the Train? Or no.
Danny DeVito?
He directed that, right?
I don't know. He'd been on
I don't know why
Taxi.
Batman Returns.
He done Batman Returns. He'd been acting for a
was,
while.
Yeah,
Twins.
he was very
Pretty sure he did
popular,
Twins
yeah.
before this.
He was a very popular actor.
Yeah,
he was in demand.
He was, yeah. People knew who he was back then.
And
then
he does the exact
right off
opposite
of Seinfeld came, and Jurassic Park came Newman.
Yep.
Who plays
right off Jurassic Park?
Who plays Michael Jordan's, I guess, assistant? They don't
It's
really,
never explained.
They don't really explain like what his role is that well. He's just kind of like his boss is like I think works for the company that
works for the Barons, the baseball team that Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and he's like his publisher. So he's like, now Newman, you get out there and you do whatever Jordan wants.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Wayne Knight's his name, by the way.
Yeah, Wayne Knight. He's Newman.
Still Newman.
He'll still forever be Newman.
But the soundtrack is killer. You got Method Man.
Yeah.
You got Be Real. You got LL Cool J. Coolio and Busta Rhymes on one song.
Yeah, and
Seal.
Seal and some guy who we don't want to talk about named
who
wrote the opening and probably the most beautiful song about the whole movie.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about him.
Yeah, you can look it up who it is. We're not going to mention his name.
Not on this show.
Probably take a guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Method Man, repping you.
Yeah.
Shout me out, please.
There's all the other basketballs players in this. Patrick Ewing.
Charles Barkley.
Larry Bird is
Muggsy
playing
Bogues.
golf with Michael Jordan.
And Bill Murray.
We'll get to Bill Murray. Muggsy.
Muggsy Bogues.
I always forget the other two. They're the really
Sean Bradley and is it Chris Robinson?
I think it is Chris Robinson.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look it up.
Yeah. So they're all in it.
I always forget.
That's probably one of the only real bits I think is funny is them all in like the therapy sessions because it's just weird.
That is like a genuinely funny
scene. It's just because they're all their acting is very bad as well. Even Charles Barkley.
Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson.
I said Chris Robinson.
Yeah, they don't do great. Larry Bird is very dry on his delivery, but it's Larry Bird.
Well, he
so
has two scenes, so
I know,
I'm
but
gonna give him a
it's
pass.
just him like, yeah, man.
Where'd he go?
That's
another thing. When
Bill.
When Michael gets sucked into the hole, no reaction.
There's no reactions from anybody in this movie at all. The basketball players don't react at the end when like Michael Jordan gives them like a magical ball.
They're like, oh, I can play basketball again.
They're just like
that's all it took.
Yeah, that's it. Let's get the Bill Murray cameo. Probably the weirdest and worst Bill Murray cameo in a movie ever, I think.
How many cameos has he had? There's Get Smart.
There is
Get Smart.
Zombieland.
But that's like, dude, that's like level. That's the best.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, that is technically like a cameo.
He only shows up for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think overall this might be next to Garfield, his worst film.
Yeah, because he plays himself, and he's only in the movie for like maybe 3 scenes.
Yeah,
but it's weird because he's like.
But I thought he was great.
I think he just did it because like I think he was friends with the producer or something.
Ivan Reitman, I noticed his name in the credits. He's the director of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so he was just like. He was like, yo, Bill, you want to be in this for like a couple minutes? Bill's like, sure.
Sure.
He literally, I think he just showed up on set for like 2 days and was just like, and I think that's like the joke in the movie is like, he's like, after they're done playing basketball, they're like, yo, Bill, you want to hang out for like a bit? He's like, nah, man, I gotta go. I hurt my knee, and he just leaves.
Yeah, he said he retired.
He had to leave for the day from shooting. And he just doesn't do a good job at acting. I
don't mind Bill Murray as opposed to everyone else.
True. He's probably he's
the only trained actor.
He's not giving any effort, but like it's still Bill Murray.
Yeah, exactly. So anything Bill Murray, I'm in.
To be fair, this is Bill Murray at like the lowest point of his career. This is
it's like right before Wes Anderson started.
This is before, it's before Wes Anderson like picked him up, and then
Jim Jarmusch.
This is when he was doing like that movie with him and the elephant, which we probably should watch at some point. There's a movie where it's Bill Murray and an elephant, and
Really?
it's just like a slapstick comedy of Bill Murray and an elephant.
What?
I forget what it's called.
This is after What About Bob, right?
Probably, I think so.
Because that was probably his last big movie. That and Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Before this, he was having a dry spell.
Yeah, but he came back, luckily. So Space Jam doesn't hold up.
Doesn't really. I mean, if like I said, I somewhat enjoyed it for nostalgia purposes, but that's
Yeah.
pretty much it. In terms of like a movie, which I'm shocked Roger Ebert gave us 3.5 stars.
Are you sure he gave him that 3.5 stars out of 5?
Out of 4.
That doesn't make sense.
I read parts of the review and he spoke really highly of it.
That's so weird.
Don't quite remember what he said, but he said it.
I mean, it just must. Maybe it's just because of the different time. It's just a different time. People were into weirder things. I don't know.
I mean, like, I'm trying to think of like other kids movies that came out by then, but you have all of Disney.
Yeah.
Like the resurrection of Disney movies.
Yeah, it came around that time. Let's also. I also wanted to talk about the second Looney Tunes to live action.
Back in
movie,
action.
Back in action.
Looney Tunes back.
Which
in
I
action.
think I haven't watched it in a while, but I think would have a much stronger chance of holding up compared to Space Jam.
I actually watched it last year.
Yeah.
It does somewhat hold up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, whereas Space Jam's clearly aimed for just kids.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
back in
Space
action.
Jam is also just like it's not really. It doesn't really play off the idea of like Looney Tunes in the real world as well as
no, as well as back in action. 'Cause
Back
they're
in
like
Action.
actors
Back in
and
Action is
stuff.
like it's very self-aware.
Yeah.
It's a very meta movie where it's like it's a lot of like fourth wall breaks and
Shaggy.
a lot of like yeah, it's like
we
the
wanna get
characters
current.
know they're cartoon characters and they know that they work for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And it's very similar like Roger Rabbit where it's just like the world just like intermingled like nothing really happens.
Yeah.
And that's what's like kind of fun about it, but Steve Martin plays the goofy villain.
Yeah, you should, like, if we could, like, add a picture of Steve Martin from Back in Action
We'll put a clip of Steve Martin from Back in Action.
with his suit and his shorts.
He just looks ridiculous.
Steve Martin.
I think that's right after Pink Panther 2, if not before.
I think it was way before. It was a little. I think it was before Pink Panther.
Pink
the first
Panther's
one.
like what,
06.
2006? I mean, that's
Back in Action's
Back in
probably
Action
like
maybe like
04.
2005.
Probably. It was like right before.
They're right around the same time, but yeah.
Overall, I think like I was saying, how like Space Jam is like aimed at just children. Back in Action is some like humor.
It's more of like a family kind of full movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Space Jam was aimed for the whole family because like. You know, parents would go see like, oh man, it's Michael Jordan and all these.
Well,
other
yeah, but
basketball
then
players.
you watch it and it's like, oh, that's not really the main focus.
I don't know. It's just a bad, poorly put together movie.
I mean, like, it is what it is, honestly. At the end of the day, it's just Space Jam. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
So-
my review. It's just Space Jam.
Yeah, I think we've had our fill of basketball movies.
So, yeah.
Um,
Where to go from here?
I don't know.
We're done with basketball, so
Yeah.
basketball season's over.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Spy Kids movie, Hank?
My favorite Spy Kids movie would probably have to be the second one because it's the only one I ever remembered that I like really enjoyed because I thought the third one was weird and the first one was kind of whatever.
I think the first one is like somewhat boring,
It's boring compared to the other two, I think.
but Cheech and Machete are in it, so
Are they in all three?
they're in all three. Yeah. Remember the third one? There's that scene at the end of the movie where like every single cast member from the movie show up.
Yeah, and it's like, man, there are some really
They're
like
powerhouses.
in here, and it's weird because it's Spy Kids 3D.
You know, who I forgot was in it. Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton is also in it. Yes,
He's Dinky Winks. Dinky Winks.
There's so many great actors in that movie. There's Bill Paxton. There's Sylvester Stallone's in
Mike
it.
Judge.
Mike Judge is in it.
Salma Hayek.
Cheech from Cheech and Chong is in it.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas
Puss in
plays their
Boots.
dad. Elijah Wood is in it.
The guy.
The guy. What's his name? The old guy from Fantasy Island.
Ricardo Montalban.
Yes, is in it. Who else is
Charlie Sheen's mom from 2.5 Men's in it.
in it? Really?
She plays their grandma, I think.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in years. I'm just like trying to remember off the bat. Spy Kids. Yeah.
You gotta love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've been your host, Hank Ingerham, joined as always with
Baylor Bunch at BayAustin19 Instagram.
Don't drop your Instagram. You're not allowed to drop your Instagram.
I need the clout. Please follow me.
He's so desperate for attention. Please don't follow him.
Please follow me.
He's
Baylor Austin.
He needs to eat tonight. You need to follow him.
Baylor Austin98 on Twitter too.
Yeah,
please.
but yeah. So this has been What's Good.
Yeah.
One more week down. We haven't decided what we're doing next week. Maybe a drama.
Yeah, we'll see. It was between that or Norbit.
I don't think we're done. We're done doing comedies for a while. They're not fun to talk about.
Not at all.
So, all right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.